Hey, what's up? This is that guy Sean. I'm in Gangnam, Seoul, Korea, South Korea, and I'm going to talk about how to find a doctor if you're living in Korea. I've been here for 5 years, and I was here 10 years ago, and it was a terrible situation. I needed a doctor, and I couldn't speak Korean, so I had to ask my boss. I asked my boss, could you please help me find a doctor? And he said, oh, I'll bring you to my buddy. My buddy's a doctor. So we go to this, not the best experience I've ever had. We go to his buddy's office. His buddy was nice enough, but I had to tell my boss all of my symptoms, and then he told my symptoms to the Korean doctor. Then the Korean doctor told my boss and gave me advice and gave me medicine. But it wasn't just a checkup. It was not the best situation. Anyway, I got through it. Living here longer, though, I found there are amazing doctors in this country. If you're living in Seoul, which a lot of teachers are, there's an Itaewon International Clinic. And I've gone there. There's a doctor, Dr. Mike Kim. I'm going to put all the information underneath this YouTube video so you can find it. They are open on Saturdays. The website's in English, and he has just been a fantastic doctor and just person in my life. He just makes your life so much better when you have someone that, if any issues, any health issues at all, you can go and talk to him. I'm pretty sure he's from California. He speaks English fluently, perfectly, and any issue, I've had any problem, and all my friends too, I couldn't recommend him enough. They've gone to him, and he's just helped out, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. And when you go there's tons of foreigners there as well. And I don't know what I would do without that guy. So if you are in Seoul, however, if you're in another city, first of all, I would just talk to your school and ask them. These days, though, I was in Jeju about 6 months ago, which is the Korean island, so it's a little bit more difficult to find stuff there. But I just walked down the city until I saw some English writing. I went into some pharmacies and just asked, and they directed me to Korean doctors. So, and then, worst comes to worst, you can just always walk into a hospital if you really have to. And someone will eventually help you out. Just keep walking around and crying if you have to. But it can be definitely very, very stressful when you have an issue in Korea, especially if you feel like isolated, which I know some teachers come to Korea and just have a horrible, horrible year. I just want to mention my first year in Korea. I lived in Daegu, and for whatever reason, I'm a very outgoing person. I could not meet anyone that year, and it was just, it was just a sad year. I cried a lot, I was depressed, but I never flew back. I'm from Canada, I didn't fly back to Canada, I just kept going. And, I do remember going to some Korean doctors in a hospital situation, and I remember them just kind of just throwing some medicine at me, and it didn't seem like they really understood, and it just didn't seem like they really cared. Now, that could have just been the way I saw the situation. Maybe they did actually really care, and maybe they were trying to help, and maybe they did give me perfect service. But that's how it felt, and that's what it seemed like. And, with health, a lot of times how we take it, how we feel we're being cared for, affects our well-being. So if you come to Seoul, if you come to Korea at all, I would say get that set up within the first or 2 weeks. Where you'll go for your healthcare if any issues come up, and you'll feel a lot better. And if anything, anything bad happens, we all get sick once in a while, completely natural. Anything can happen while you're here. You're a human being. You don't need to be stressed about it or to feel ashamed of anything that might happen. So that's my advice, guys. If you have any further questions, I'm going to put my email down there and links to the Itaewon International Clinic if you're in the Seoul area. And good luck to you. And if you're thinking about Korea, definitely do it. Come here and teach, or come here and study. Cool, guys. Have a great day. Bye.